HYBE is cornered. Jimin reveals secret facts in front of Jungkook. An explosion of emotion and uproar just rocked the global ARMY community when shocking footage of the interaction between Jimin and Jungkook went viral. In a less than 1-minute video originally uploaded by an international agency staffer who accidentally shared a behind-the-scenes moment, Jimin is seen talking seriously to Jungkook with an intense facial expression, then in an almost silent moment. Words that make the world stop for a moment. "I just found out. They've been hiding from you all this time." Yes, that's the phrase that triggered the storm. Jungkook, who seemed relaxed at first, immediately froze. His expression turned silent, his eyes pointed straight at Jimin, as if trying to digest word for word that had just come out of the mouth of his friend and Hyung. No overreaction, no anger or high voice. Only silence, and that's where things get even more shocking. Because Jungkook's silence speaks louder than anything. ARMY immediately wondered, what was HYBE really hiding from Jungkook? And why Jimin, who has been known to be calm and loyal to his label, is now actually the one who dismantled it, shortly after the video went viral. The hashtags #Jimin exposed HYBE and #HYBE explain this immediately occupied the top of Twitter trending globally. Thousands of soldiers from various countries began to explore various possibilities and hidden facts. They attributed this moment to some strange events that had happened recently, such as Jungkook's absence in some solo promotional decisions, changes in musical direction in his projects, to special concert plans that were secretly postponed for no apparent reason. Some analysts of the Korean entertainment industry even refer to this as the most precarious moment between artists and agencies throughout BTS's history. One of the senior music journalists who has been covering BTS since 2014 said in his article, "If Jimin dares to say that directly to Jungkook, especially in front of an active camera, then it is clear that he can no longer withstand the burden of information that he has been hiding. That is, the hidden is very serious and concerns the future direction." An internal source, who declined to be named, suggested that what was hidden could be related to a creative contract. There are rumors that HYBE has more control over Jungkook's solo projects than the other members, including veto rights to songs that can be released, visual concepts, and even promotional schedules. While on the other hand, Jungkook has been known as a very independent artist, full of initiative, and has a strong vision in musical direction. This friction between personal desires and agency boundaries is what has allegedly been going on for a long time, and it was only fully revealed by Jimin in that unexpected moment. To make it even more astonishing after the incident, Jimin was known to refuse to appear in front of the camera for HYBE's official content sessions for 2 consecutive days. He only sent a representative to explain that he was emotionally unprepared. Jungkook has not appeared in any live or interaction sessions since the video went viral. Fans who are aware of the silence of both are even more convinced. Something big is happening behind the scenes. In the Weverse community, various speculations strengthened. Some of the ARMY even collected footage of old interactions where Jimin seemed to want to say something to Jungkook, but always ended up with a stiff smile or meaningful silence. They interpreted it as signs that Jimin had something in store for a long time, and only now chose to reveal everything. And as always, in this chaos, the ARMY is united. They refused to attack Jimin. Instead, they raised overwhelming support for him, thanking him for speaking out, for having cared enough for Jungkook to dismantle something that had been closed. They also urged HYBE to provide official clarification, not just for the sake of their artist, but also for the sake of transparency to the global community that has been part of BTS for more than a decade. In response to growing pressure, HYBE finally released a brief statement at midnight KST. "We are aware of concerns from the public regarding conversations circulating between our 2 artists. We are conducting internal communications to fully understand the context and will provide a more complete statement in the near future." But the answer did not satisfy anyone. ARMY felt too many things went unanswered. Too much time was wasted to simply understand the context. Moreover, now a global petition has appeared demanding HYBE to better respect the artistic freedom of each BTS member and not to exercise excessive control over their work and personal expression. On the other hand, Support for Jimin and Jungkook flowed from among fellow artists. Some Korean singers close to them, such as SHINee's Taemin and IU, inserted hidden endorsements in their uploads. It mentions honesty in friendship and courage against invisible pressures. It further fuels the fans' enthusiasm that the two are not alone in this struggle. After Jimin's sudden revelation that rocked the entertainment world and put HYBE even more in the spotlight, now comes a new development that makes everything even more heated and emotional. In silence, after that intense conversation, Jungkook reportedly took a big step that shocked the entire internal of the agency. He postponed the creative contract of his solo project. A source from HYBE's internal, who declined to be named, mentioned that after hearing the confession from Jimin, Jungkook immediately submitted a written request to postpone the entire production process of the solo song he was preparing, including the mixing process and the finalization of the music clip. In a brief letter sent to the production team, Jungkook simply wrote, "I decided to reevaluate my steps, not because I had doubts on my music, but because I just found out that there are important things that I was never told in the first place." The sentence instantly spread throughout HYBE's internal division and created a wave of tension that could no longer be hidden. The creative team, which had been working for months, suddenly stopped all activities. Some freelancers even admitted their projects were canceled overnight without any official explanation. The army is getting louder. After previously the hashtag Jimin exposed HYBE trending globally, now hashtag Protect Jungkook occupies the top position on X, Twitter, and TikTok. They feel that Jungkook, as the youngest artist of BTS as well as one of the most dedicated, it should not be left in a situation where it becomes a victim of a non-transparent internal policy. They started making a long thread about how all this time Jungkook has always worked hard, always smiling, always professional, but perhaps without knowing that the direction of his career has been directed without his full involvement. One of the Army of Korea wrote, "If it wasn't for Jimin, Jungkook might have continued walking without knowing that his freedom was restricted." It's not just about the music. It's about trust. On the other hand, Jimin reportedly faced heavy pressure from internal parties after his confession. South Korean media reported that Jimin had been summoned behind closed doors by representatives of the agency's top brass to set the record straight, but the meeting ended without an agreement. Several people close to Jimin revealed that he refused to retract his statement. He even stated that he was ready to stand in front of the public if asked to explain his case. One entertainment industry observer said, "It's not just about secrets being leaked. This is the moment when two top artists, Jimin and Jungkook, are restoring honesty in their relationship and risk it all for one thing: justice." Even more surprising, news emerged that Jimin and Jungkook were considering holding a live broadcast together without a mediator from HYBE to answer directly the unrest of fans. If this does happen, it will be the most historic broadcast of the duo's entire career, because for the first time, they are speaking without a script, without control, just as two best friends who want to explain everything. However, until now, there has been no official confirmation of the broadcast plans. Only signals in that direction began to appear. In a brief upload that was supposed to be code, Jimin wrote on Weverse, "Sometimes, one truth is enough to erase 1,000 lies." Meanwhile, Jungkook, who is usually not very active after a storm, suddenly posted a photo of himself standing in front of the glass with the caption, "I don't want to be a puppet that only moves when told to." The post went viral and was considered Jungkook's most explicit statement about his condition. Now all eyes are on HYBE. Public pressure is growing. The international community began petitioning, demanding full transparency in the agency's treatment of its artists, not just BTS, but also other artists under the company's umbrella.